For decades, when we talked about luxury cars, we tend to picture big saloons. Even in the era of EV, the traditional petrol flagships haven't really faced a challenge. The Taycan is sporty, but falls short on some basic EV essentials. The EQS has a futuristic vibe, but is nowhere near the level of the S-Class. The i7 seems promising, but deep down, it's still an ICE car. When it comes to shaking up the luxury car landscape with EVs, it seems like we have to turn to the new players. The Model S set a stage with top-notch performance and innovative tech. Then Lucid Air took Tesla's ideas and created a truly luxurious EV both in look and feel. Now, we've got the next one on the horizon. This is the NIO ET9, just reviewed at NIO Day 2023. Interestingly, it doesn't want to emphasize its being all-electric like the Tesla Model S or the Lucid Air does. In fact, it wants to be just a luxury saloon, but with the ability to revolutionize the traditional luxury with technology. And this is where it meets its biggest challenge. 20 years ago, the Germans misjudged how much people would pay for advanced technology in cars, dooming the sales of Maybach. So let's find out if this NIO's flagship can realize the idea. I'm Harris, you're watching my EV. What are the essentials of creating a luxury flagship? Well, first thing first, you've got to nail the commanding presence in the look. And on this front, NIO only got half it right. Judging only from the size, the ET9 is more than qualified to be a luxury saloon, over 5.3 meters long, over 2 meters wide, and a wheelbase of 3.25 meters. Plus, with that fastback design and those oversized wheels and tires, the car has a serious heft. The last time we saw factory-fitted 23-inch wheels were on the Rolls-Royce Spectre. But when it comes to design, it might be a bit disappointing. As NIO's flagship and their first car on the MT 3.0 platform, it seems a bit too similar to the other new models currently on the market. The only noticeable difference in design elements seems to be the more square-off double-dash daytime running lights. As an ET5 owner, this ET9 feels way too familiar. It's really like a pumped-up version of the cheapest NIO. Another problem is that people are finding it hard to pinpoint what type of car it really is. Judging by the size we mentioned, it's your typical D-segment saloon. Looking at the fastback and the pop-up spoiler, it's a standard coupe. But with a height over 1.6 meters and a ground clearance of 200 mm, it's more like an SUV. So how should we categorize this car? Let me give you a reference point. BMW 6 Series Gran Turismo. Then everything starts to make sense. The coupe-style design is all about aerodynamics. The taller body ensures better headroom, and that plenty ground clearance is to provide longer suspension travel for smoothing out bumps and dips. Gotta give it to BMW. Their concepts are truly ahead of the time. Some might question why the Merc S-Class, despite having all these advantages, still keeps the stance of a traditional flagship saloon. Well, here's the thing. For an EV, a reimagined body is necessary. If you want to provide an ultimate riding experience, you've got to let go of the conventions that don't make sense in modern EVs. Now, when it comes to the riding experience, we have to talk about the second key factor in making a top-tier saloon, the interior. What we were filming that day was not the final product, so we weren't allowed to film the interior. But looking at the documents and videos NIO showed us, the ET9 could have one of the best interiors ever. Firstly, let's have a look at the most crucial part of a luxury sedan, the back row. It's a born four-seater, which says a lot about NIO's dedication for executive luxury. And there are also a lot of high-end features like self-developed slouch seats, heated armrests, many screens, a 360-degree multifunctional tray table, 7 sunshades including triangular window ones, a Maybach-like built-in bar with magnetic cup holders, and a whopping 35-speaker audio system with active noise cancellation and headrest speakers. What's more, all of the above can work together at your will. As for the front row, the ET9 also brings a bunch of new designs. Portrait screens and paddle shifter, a new staple, finally got replaced with a big landscape screen and a color shifter. The standard instrument cluster got swapped with a long screen that syncs with ambient lighting. And the head-up display is now bigger, more informative, and can now display 3D image and show the destination waypoint in mid-air, like you're in a game. But I do wonder if my polarized sunglasses will block that AR HUD completely. And of course, the most crucial change in the front is NIO's first steer-by-wire system. Unlike the world's first mass-produced steer-by-wire in the Infinity DAS, NIO ditched the mechanical link entirely. So the current system has more flexible steering ratios, less steering maneuver, and with the 8.3-degree rear-wheel steering, a tighter turning radius. Clearly, all of this is gearing up for even more advanced autonomous driving. That's why the ET9 has a compact steering wheel that can move forward and backward by 15 cm, along with an extra pair of lidars on the fenders. Whether it's the cabin design philosophy or steer-by-wire technology, we can feel that the ET9 isn't aiming to rival your typical luxury saloon, or even just cars in general. It's more like aiming for the private jet. And judging by its performance on the road, it seems that it's not that far-fetched. This is a clip from NIO showcasing the suspension. Looking at the Champagne Tower, it looks like a homage to the original Lexus LS. But I think it wanna be the other one. Yes, the very LS 400 with the Bose suspension, which was mentioned in our previous D6P video. Although it didn't end up in production cars, its spirit lives on. Through Clear Motion, a chassis company that has brought out Bose's revolutionary proactive suspension technology and made adjustments and upgrades by replacing linear motor with electronically controlled hydraulic valve, achieving a cheaper, simpler, more accessible, and less energy-hungry solution. 1 year ago, this startup got a $39 million fund. Guess who led the investment? Yes, NIO Capital. After that, Clear Motion announced the production plan of CM1 and started building factory in Jiangsu, China. And because NIO has a self-R&D ICC breaking free from the restraint of other suppliers, they can put this ultimate suspension into production. But how does it actually feel? NIO told us it's like sitting in a Gulfstream G800. Yeah, right, like I have been on a private jet before. What's even more impressive is that, besides the fancy suspension system, it's hard to spot any supplier fingerprints on the core tech of the ET9. Stuff like the 46105 battery cells, silicon carbide motor, native 900-volt architecture, central supercomputing system, and a 5nm smart driving chip with over 1,000 TOPS computing power. NIO developed them all by itself. Some might think NIO has gone a bit nuts. Going all in on self-R&D tech could make the entire cash flow unstable. But maybe that's just William Li's dedication, aiming to craft a luxurious ride that is truly Chinese. In 2011, Maybach stopped production, which was seen by many as a failure due to overly obsessed with technology and negligence over heritage and intimacy. But it was not the dedication on tech that failed Maybach. It's just not groundbreaking enough to challenge the Rolls-Royce and Bentley. Both the 5.7 and the 6.2 were just better versions of the S-Class. However, looking at the S-Class itself, we will see that technology has always been the backbone of luxury flagship. And this is the same for the even more tech-focused EV. For a technology flagship, NIO was set out to make this ET9 capable in tech, carrying in design, revolutionary in idea, offering a mobile space unlike any other. But we will have to wait till the delivery in 2025 to see if the dream of NIO can truly come true.